Well, it's over. Minecraft passed $300 million on its opening weekend, and it shows no signs of slowing down. The possibility of this film hitting $1 billion before its theatrical run is over is now a very, very real possibility. And with that success, we're going to see a shift in what similar movies based on established franchises look like going forwards to try and replicate what this movie's doing. Now, I ain't actually here to shit on Minecraft. It was a movie made for and successfully marketed to a very specific audience. And now it's reaping the rewards. I commend that. It's what all movies should be doing. There's a lot of different people with totally different tastes out there in movies. Not everything has to or should be made for me, you, or any Joe Public out there. All the critics overly condemning this movie don't understand it, and it could not give half a cup of dirty donkey cream what hoity-toity reviewers, who are not a part of its target audience, have to say about it. I ain't here to add to that useless dog pile while Minecraft laughs its way to the bank. No, this movie's existence isn't why it's over for the rest of us who love movies, but aren't really into this. The reason it's over is because studios are going to learn the exact wrong lesson from this movie's success, as they always freaking do. Every time a movie hits $1 billion, every dipstick in Hollywood starts trying to replicate whatever their short-sighted, mentally stunted little turtle brains can grasp as the simplest, easiest reason that the movie made so much money. With The Dark Knight, it was, oh, people love dark and gritty adaptations. Make everyone into those. With Avengers, it was, oh, people love shared cinematic universes. Make every movie a part of one of those. With Force Awakens, it was, oh, people love when we drag out old people from their retirement home to play characters they remember from back in the day. To do a bunch of those. It's the reason Disney started focusing entirely on live-action remakes after Beauty and the Beast, and have now announced all these sequels to their 3D animated movies after Inside Out 2 did so surprisingly well. It's why after Barbie made $1 billion, Mattel announced they'd be making movies of all of their toy brands, because they really thought the reason it did so well is that people like Mattel toys. Now we may very likely be living in a world where we get a goddamn Uno movie. And there are many, 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 many more examples. But all of these films had something in common that the people up top don't seem to understand. Whether I personally liked or hated them, and I absolutely hate 2 of the movies I listed, each of these movies were made for a specific audience who were happily willing to go pay to see those movies. None of them were made for this imaginary every audience Hollywood is always chasing like some hollow-eyed junkie. They were made specifically for the kinds of people who would want to see them. The true lesson Hollywood should learn from these movies doing so surprisingly well is very simple. Make a product for people who actually exist and would love the opportunity to pay real-life money for that product. Then make sure those people know about that specific product that caters to their tastes by advertising it in the places they are actually looking. Boom, money. It's actually really, really, really friggin' simple. But we all know they won't learn that lesson. They refuse to learn it because that lesson means they'll have to work for a living. That would take time out of their hobbies like soulless nightmare orgies and hunting people for sport. For every $1 billion hit, there are a million total flops that seemed like sure things. These assholes in charge of movies, and especially the ones in charge of adapting books, comics, and games into movies, are always looking for the quickest, easiest, and laziest way to make a big old hit that'll rake in the dough. A good script that respects a beloved IP is a good bet on how to make a profit on a movie, but it ain't a sure thing. Plenty of movies go this route and bomb horribly. We just watched that happen to poor little Transformers 1 and Furiosa. Both movies with built-in fan bases that respected the franchise they were based within, and both of them did, pardon my French, not very good. But now we're watching a movie that will likely succeed massively, not because it has a good script that deeply respects the source material and is casted in a way that really brings these beloved characters and ideas to life, but almost the exact opposite reason. This movie is stupid, random, awkward, and bizarre as an adaptation of Minecraft, and it knows it. It did it bad on purpose, as a joke. The entire movie and the audience that sprung up around it is ironic. It's filled with that bad on purpose feel. The casting and character designs are completely random. The now highly quoted dialogue is downright bizarre. And from the outside, the movie just looks completely stupid and void of artistic purpose. This is why, while the movie was being marketed in normal places like trailers and commercials, everyone just assumed it was going to be a wet fart on release like Borderlands was. But Borderlands had no idea what the hell it was trying to do or who it was trying to court. This movie knew exactly what it wanted to be. Stupid, mindless, silly fun. A lot of people, especially them youths, love this kind of shit when they're in on the joke and all them old people isn't. And judging by reviews, them old people isn't in on the joke. They're confused why something so obviously bad is becoming so incredibly successful. It's just fun to enjoy something terrible ironically. And enjoying something ironically is then a gateway to enjoying it genuinely by accident. And when things can purposely tap into the awkwardness and confusion of a terrible movie like The Room or Troll 2 with intent and make something bad on purpose like Kung Fury, Snakes on a Plane, or Sharknado, it can be a pretty surprisingly big hit no matter how mind-rottenly stupid it is. That used to be Adult Swim's whole shtick before they got all old and corporate themselves. When I saw that this movie was directed by the guy who did friggin' Napoleon Dynamite back in the day, everything started to make sense about the film. His movies are awkward, weird, and borderline terrible on purpose, and that is exactly why people love them. Now, also mix that in with enough lore and well-known imageries from such a beloved IP as Minecraft, and you can see how this had the potential to become such a massive hit. But finding a specific niche and making a product for them isn't what Hollywood's gonna see here, even though it's what they should. They're gonna see something making a crap load of money, and the little hamster that runs their pea brains is gonna start slowly turning and making them think that they see a new way to get an easy buck out of us uneducated, unwashed, and easily manipulated modern audiences. People like random stuff now. It's all the rage. They like irony. They like, what do the kids call them? Intranet meme advertising. And though it's not going to be as blatant as in this movie, we're going to see this kind of brain-dead slop trickle into more and more adaptations of any IP that they think will have a younger audience attached to it. And let's be honest, within the kingdom of us comic, game, anime, and etc. nerds, that means pretty much everything getting adapted. For one glorious moment, it seemed like Hollywood was finally going to start realizing. Last year, we watched adaptations and sequels that took the source material seriously and respectfully, like Dune, Deadpool and Wolverine, Inside Out 2, Wicked, Beetlejuice, and others do incredibly well. While movies that either subverted, massively changed, or just straight up didn't understand the source material, like Joker 2, Borderlands, Madam Web, The Crow, and others, bomb hilariously bad. And that was continuing into this year with films like Snow White failing to spectacular degrees. We were sending an idiot-proof message to those idiots in Hollywood. Give the fandoms of these things what they would obviously want from them and make money. Churn out crap that's unrecognizable and we ain't showing up to theaters. Now, they'd never understand 100%, but they were just starting to get as much as they could grasp. People like when the thing they like is kinda like the thing they liked. Is that what they want? I guess we could. But then along comes Minecraft. And if this movie passes $1 billion, like it seems is very possible, every studio is going to want to replicate what made it such a success. Because in their stupid minds, it will look super duper easy. Why make a good script that works hard to appease the hardcore fans while also figuring out how to reach out to people unfamiliar with the brand, when you can just make a stupid bad movie, keep the superficial elements the hardcore fans are familiar with to keep them placated, and then market it ironically to fill-in-the-blank young generation on social media and have $1 billion cult hit? It won't work. These kind of cheats never do. But damn it, if it means having to work and think less, they're gonna try it. Masters of the Universe is supposed to come out next year. Now, if the director's previous work on Bumblebee tells us anything, it'll likely be a love letter to the classic franchise that has a few changes, but keeps the spirit of what made He-Man so beloved. But this is a pretty damn hard thing to do. He-Man is a strange frickin' franchise. People who are not fans of it are gonna have trouble understanding or relating to it. I think it should do well if it respects the source material, but it ain't gonna be a $1 billion or anything. So why bet on a movie that has the potential to bomb no matter how well you do it? Why not instead just make the movie a joke? Cast Jack Black as He-Man and Jason Momoa as Skeletor. Toss, I don't know, Kevin Hart in as Orko, then fill it with random humor, have He-Man sing that hey, yay, yay, yay song, and market the film as ironically bad. Hollywood doesn't give a shit about the integrity of the source material. They don't care about the fans or what some insignificant little peon like you thinks. All they care about is how to make sure whatever project falls onto their jizz-stained desks can guarantee a huge profit. They don't know what any of this crap they're producing is. Why would they care about doing it with even a little respect? And if you think my pitch for this He-Man movie's too unrealistic, it's not. Because back in the old days of the 2000s, we were this close to getting a Green Lantern comedy film starring none other than Jack frickin' Black. People got paid actual money to work on this abomination before it was thankfully taken out back and shot. And though what we got eventually with the Guardian Parallax and Bargain Bin Hector Hammond wasn't great, I'd take it over a mid-2000s style Jack Black comedy Green Lantern film any day of the week. And though that one got killed off, we pretty much saw it get made anyways with that god-awful The Green Hornet abomination starring Seth frickin' Rogen a few years later. Same goes for the Lone Ranger's casting of Johnny Depp as a comedic tonto later on to try and turn that IP into another Pirates of the Caribbean. They don't care about these characters. If they thought Jack Black as the next Spider-Man would make more money than another actor, they'd do it in a second. And though Steve is just some blocky dude, Jack Black is one of the absolute last people you'd ever cast in that role, because he looks nothing at all like Steve, and just doesn't have the physique to run around Minecrafting all damn day. It's random-ass meme casting at its finest. Remember, not that long ago, when Guardians was massively popular, so every movie was mandated by corporate henchmen to have forced in subversive jokes at seemingly serious moments. Even from otherwise serious characters that felt incredibly jarring to say them, like Doctor Strange. Well, with movies like Thor, Love and Thunder, and Quantumania falling well short of expectations, they were starting to realize these forced jokes in otherwise relatively serious movies wasn't working. And though it wasn't really good or anything, Brave New World had very clearly been almost completely gutted of this kind of humor. Well, you can likely kiss that trajectory goodbye. We're going to be seeing that times a million going forwards. One of the things getting people out to Minecraft opening weekend seems to be the Rocky Horror Picture Show style audience interaction. This was part of the marketing campaign and somehow apparently worked. You really think that random, funny, quotable lines to engage them youth demographics ain't gonna be written on some moron producer's whiteboard somewhere after this? All these people do is try to find cheat codes to make money. For adaptations, we're about to exit the age of subversion of the source material and enter the age of ironically adapting it crappily. Don't believe me and think your favorite IP is going to be safe? These are the people who turned Resident Evil into The Matrix. They turned RoboCop into Batman. And they had the damn Lorax do a freaking car commercial. These people have no respect or understanding for your favorite personal IP. They only care about money. Which would be great if they were any good at making it, because they just adapt the thing well and make a reasonable profit every time. But no, they're bad at their jobs and are always desperate for the next billion buckaroo hit. And the formula is about to change to well-known IP plus random humor plus ironic casting and marketing equals money, 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 money. And we're going to have to spend another 10 years watching bomb after bomb before they move on to their next dumbass get-rich-quick formula instead of just getting some normal movies like we all want. Or worse, it'll work like it has for Minecraft, and this thing will go on for even longer. But that's just my apocalyptic take on a relatively innocuous children's movie doing all right over the weekend. What's yours? Does this movie have no hope of making $1 billion? Does it actually capture the spirit of Minecraft in the most respectful way possible, and I'm just not seeing that? Should Jack Black play the next Iron Man? Let me know below. Were you hoping to see an adaptational accuracy ranking of the Minecraft movie out of me? I mean, I don't want to do one, like, at all. Seriously, guys, seriously, I don't want to. But if 10,000 people beg for it, I mean, I'd certainly oblige. If you listened all the way to the end, hit that damn subscribe button, yo, and I'll see y'all next time there's something to yap about. But dear God, seriously, I'm dreading to see what Avengers Doomsday's attempt at a chicken jockey scene is going to be. We already got dabbing out of the Hulk. What could they do next? And I truly, truly fear that this kind of movie marketing will work, and these Rocky Horror style shows are going to become normalized in theaters. Ugh.